Hello, hello, hello. This is Georgia Coatings by the Bay, your local new car paint protection expert, and I am here today with this 25 Mazda 3. I decided to finally make a video showcasing what correction is versus just here's the before and here's the after. So they brought it in. They said, hey, this is new. It should be in great shape. Totally agree. New cars should come in great shape, but they also already have a brush-based wash sticker on it. I'm not going to call any specific washout. But it's a touch wash. Even soft touch is going to cause issues like this. So when detailers are talking about paint correction, they're talking about removing all of these kind of swirl marks around the light. They only appear round because I have a round light. If you put a long rectangular, LED or something on it, they would look like long ovals. But this is the standard damage here for a car wash. So I'm going to let you see me apply a medium cut compound, then we'll clean it up. This can be used as a single step. I will still wind up following up with a polish, once we're done. But the results are drastic when you go to remove marks like this. And a polish will not pull these out. It does require, at least a fine cut, medium cut type of polish to be applied. This is not a heavy cut level though, otherwise you'd see really, really deep marks. These are all surface and superficial. So you'll wind up getting no sound on this part of the video coming up just because I don't want to flood you with the sound of a buffer. You can see me move it back and forth, kind of what a crosshatch pattern is, which is side to side, then up and down. And after that, I'll show you the after results under a light again. So here we go. I am going to buff kind of to the side, just so that I'm not in the way of the camera. Normally I'd be sitting right behind a buffer, but this is more to show off to you guys what correction would look like. So. So that is a single step of compound being applied. I use Koch Chemie Fine Cut. It's a yellow bottle. I love it. It finishes to about a 7 for gloss. So again, it can be used as a single step because most polishes only finish to an 8 or 9 at best. If you're getting something that finishes to a 10, there's no cutting in it. It's more of just a a glaze being applied. But yeah, this is wonderful, wonderful product. Orange Lake Country pads, HDO. They're medium cut pads, and they will produce phenomenal results. So this is it. Again, this is your before. I think the camera can see this far out. This is your before with swirl marks everywhere. Kind of through here, you can see it really well again. And this is your after. And perfection is never promised. I'm sure there's a scratch somewhere in here still. This will be like the one time I'm wrong. You can't find something to show still in the paint, but yes, there's I don't know how well the camera's going to catch. There's just 2 or 3 little ones here that the polish will probably pick up. Nothing too deep. Like I said, this is it's a relatively new car that has just seen a couple washes, so it was caught early, and I'll be talking to them tomorrow about proper care. But yeah, this is what you could expect from a single step correction. And again, this is what you were looking at, as your before is these swirl marks kind of all through. It's always really bad back here because it's where the brushes kind of sense when to spin off the car. So that's one of your tightest points of contact with the brush washes. But yeah, so that's a single step of correction. Like I said, a polish will follow it once I cut this video and post it. But I always send before and afters and don't show people the process. So this is the process of paint correction. Crosshatch pattern, full coverage, working area that's like 2x2, maybe 3x3. A couple slow passes to really do the heavy work. A couple light passes let you finish down. With less pressure, it'll give you more of a shine versus a cutting action. And it's something that even DIY can be done if you buy the right tools. Griots has a great little starter DA for, I don't know, 80, 90 bucks, I think. You can buy a little kit from them that includes a pad or 2. And I think some compound for, 150, 160. So it's a good little deal if you want to try it yourself. But this is the biggest reason that people seek detailers to do installations, is that the paint correction portion is the hardest part. You know how to wash a car. You know how to spray alcohol on a car and wipe it clean. Paint correction is the part that trips people up. Like I said, $160 invested. You're investing a few hours. You're going to make some mistakes. That's the place that people say, okay, I need to hand this off. And even brand new, couple washes, everything's going to show up on black. So it's, if it wasn't a car wash, the dealership usually puts some marks in. And it's just, you want perfect or as close to as possible, because, perfect's usually unattainable. But as close to as possible before you put a coating on so that you get the best out of your coating. So yeah, you're not being billed for some made up charge. When paint correction comes your way, it's going to get you something like this when, this was your before. And really this panel was about this bad for the before. So huge improvement. Whole car is going to get done. You can see those nice metallic flakes again. There we go. There's one little one. It's a little bit deeper. And again, most of these can get worked out, but with a single step of correction, the results promised are 80% or better. This is definitely 80% or better than this. You break it up to what's called RIDs, random independent defects and scratches. So that one I just showed you, that's now a random independent scratch. So it will not produce this full swirl mark anymore. It's just a single scratch by itself. That way it catches a lot less sunlight, because this is what you're going to see out in the sun. You're not going to have these bright white, LEDs on it. You'll see this kind of nice diffused yellow. So it hides a lot, but again, this is what a step of correction is. This is what you could expect if I send you a video that says, hey, this is your before, this is your after. But I'm really just making this to add it to the website as well to keep people informed on what paint correction looks like. Like I said, I'm going to jump in and do a polish step. For those that are wondering, I'm going to use a Rupees finishing polish and a black Lake Country pad. My buffers are, 6-inch backers, so I use 6.5-inch pads. But if you have questions, shoot them to me. I love answering them. I hope you leave a comment on this video. I'd love to talk about paint correction with you. I have a whole guide written on my website of some of the great starter tools to use, what tools I use, what it can and can't fix. So yeah, if you are seeking paint correction and ceramic coating in the Appleton area, or Green Bay, De Pere, anywhere in the Fox Valley. Shop is based in Appleton. You can shoot me a text 920-659-0023, with questions or for a quote. I do not offer paint correction as a standalone service. It must be paired with a ceramic coating. I'm exclusive to coatings. I only offer corrections because they're necessary to get the best results out of the coating. So no, I won't do just a single step on your car real quick. I do, unless you're installing a coating. I just don't do that. I got focused about 5 years on coatings only, maybe 6 years ago on coatings only, and it's really changed how much I love the industry again and love my work day to day. And we do offer mobile service to the entire state of Wisconsin. If you're looking at paint correction and know you need paint correction, I do suggest having it here because I have, LEDs everywhere in the shop so I can see everything going on. There's a bit less light in houses. It can still be accomplished. I do bring a light or two to set up, to get you the same results, but it's certainly easier here. So again, in the Fox Valley area, Appleton, De Pere, Green Bay, Oshkosh, Neenah, anybody in those areas, Greenville, you're looking for paint correction and ceramic coating on a new vehicle, give me a shout. You don't always need correction when you drive off the lot, but I will say that it's probably 50 or 60% of the time that the detailers there have already put in some wash marks, so it may be needed. And I just don't want it to be a surprise. I do my absolute best to be transparent about everything. So if you want your car to look this good, I can accomplish that for you. Just give me a call. It says a single step of correction. A polish will follow and might take one or two of these other light marks out that were still there. But we get you looking really, really good. 920-659-0023. Or go to the website, coatingsbythebay.com. It is, a very educational experience there. I've answered over 400 FAQs. I've written, probably 100 blogs by now covering all the major brands, prices in the local area for all the major brands. My prices are right there on the website. I do my best to be educational forward, and it's not a sale. It's you will decide yourself if it makes sense or not. It's not me calling you every 2 days saying, hey, hurry up, buy now. Hey, now, we got a super sale going on for the next 32 seconds. And I'm just not that kind of guy. I want you to be well educated and make the decision by yourself that this is good for you before we talk. And that's why I present as much information as possible. So odds of you needing correction on a new car, 40 to 50%. Sometimes polish takes it out. Polish was not going to take this out. But there's always a chance when you buy new that you'll need it. So tell the dealership, don't wash my car. And that will dramatically reduce the odds of you needing paint correction. I'm going to be insistent on it. Because the dealers there get handed 10 cars every morning to get started. Salesman's back there 15 minutes later. Hey, I need this one washed immediately. They're using the same soap buckets for car after car after car. Or even worse, sending it through a tunnel wash right there at the dealership. And it just leads to defects being put into the car like this. Again, this was caused by a car wash, but this is very similar to what you'd see from the dealership too. So one final time, George with Coatings by the Bay. Text me anytime, 920-659-0023, or visit the website, coatingsbythebay.com. Hope you have a great day.